Indicate, can you confirm that there is a meeting, and can you give any indication of what's on the agenda, what the Secretary General hopes to get out of it?
I can confirm that there is a working dinner that involves Foreign Minister Lavrov and the Secretary General. That's tomorrow evening. I'm not fully aware of precisely what's going to be on the agenda, but I think that you could imagine some of the topics they may wish to discuss.
The Russian Foreign Ministry did say that they are planning on discussing, Lavrov and Bonn, Syria. I just want to make sure that is actually on the agenda for tomorrow evening's meeting.
Like I said, I'm not fully aware of the agenda, but I think that one could anticipate discussions on the main topics of the day, and Syria is plainly one of them. Yes.
Earlier today, there was an incursion by the Israelis, hundreds of meters deep inside South Lebanon, in an area very close to the UNIFIL point. Do you have anything about this, and whether this was the first such incursion in that area? Did the UNIFIL report to you if this is repeated? Of course, there was an incident of explosion there. Was it because of the equipment they were carrying, or do you have any details about that?
Well, what I can tell you is what I've received from the UN interim force in Lebanon, UNIFIL, and they've been informed by the Lebanese armed forces this morning that last night an Israeli Defense Force patrol crossed the blue line in the general area of Labouneh, and that there had subsequently been an explosion at the location causing injuries to some Israeli soldiers. And on receiving this information, UNIFIL immediately launched an investigation into this alleged violation of Resolution 1701. So an investigation team from UNIFIL is at the location, indicated by the Lebanese armed forces, and it's trying to ascertain if any traces of a possible explosion or other activity can be identified on the ground. The area is steep, hilly terrain with thick vegetation. The force has also asked the Israeli Defense Force to provide, the force meaning UNIFIL, has also asked the Israeli Defense Force to provide details of any incident in the area as alleged, and if so, the precise location. So further details will be provided to you as the investigation progresses.
Yeah, for another thing regarding Syria, Mr. Lavrov today called for the Security Council of the United Nations to condemn the repeated terrorist attacks in Syria. Does the Secretary General condemn them? Yesterday in Jeremiah, there was a car explosion. In the north of Syria, hundreds of Kurds were slaughtered, hundreds of civilians were kidnapped, 3 were incinerated alive.
Nizar, the carnage continues in Syria with killing by both sides, and with terrible consequences for primarily civilians. And it's the thoughts of the Secretary General and others with the civilians who are suffering in this. You will also recall that Nabi Pillay, the High Commissioner for Human Rights, has called for those who carry out such attacks from whichever side to be brought to justice, and the Secretary General certainly would concur with that. Yes, last question.
My question is regarding the abducted dozens of civilians yesterday from Syria who were taken by Jabhat al-Nusra, which is categorized as a terrorist organization, into Turkish territory. Alongside, there are 2 bishops which are missing. There are a lot of credible information speaking that they are held hostage in Turkey. Is Turkey now becoming party and a safe haven for these terrorists to practice that? And also, are there any contacts between the United Nations and Turkey in order to stop allowing terrorists going into Syria, kidnapping people, and bringing them into Turkish territory?
I don't have anything specific on that, Nizar, except to reiterate what the Secretary General has himself said, that these 2 senior clerics, bishops, should be immediately released. They've been held for far too long already. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.